State Bank and Trust has been invested in Winfield and Marion County for more than a century, and today we remain deeply committed to meeting the needs of local families and businesses with excellent financial products and friendly down-home service.
But more than that, we're dedicated to supporting the growth, success, and well-being of our community as a whole. Because when it comes right down to it, there's nothing more important than community.
And just like our outstanding city officials, police, and fire departments, you can count on State Bank and Trust to help make Winfield and Marion County a great place to live for everyone who calls this area home.
Now open in Guin, Alabama, Pig Out invites you to come by and try their delicious barbecue. Country-style vegetables, homemade desserts, burgers, and many more items. We serve a lunch buffet on Sundays, Sunday 11 to 2 p.m. Our hours are Thursday 11 to 6 p.m., Friday and Saturday 11 to 8 p.m. Call us today at 205-468-0574. Pig Out is located in Guin, Alabama in the old Jimbo's Barbecue building.
Hello everyone, this is Chuck from Span Hardware in Winfield, Alabama. Good to be with you today, and I just want to let you know we've got some new things this year for the spring season. As you can see, Stihl now has the lawnmower. We're going to have a full line of the Stihl zero-turn mowers. We have a full line of the Stihl weed trimmer and chainsaws. Just about anything you need to maintain your home this spring and summer. From lawn and garden equipment to paint to hardware, anything you need. Come see us. We'll help you if we can. Thank you.
This is Eric Simmons from Furniture Depot. We have a store in Guin and Fayette. We've been serving the people of Northwest Alabama for 23 some odd years. We'd like to be your furniture store if you'd let us. And we'd like to thank you for your business this past year and invite you to come and shop with us this coming year and for the years to come. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
Hello, Lee Hines here, owner-operator of Alexander's Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been family owned and operated since 1954, proudly serving Marion, Fayette, and Lamar County. We are Carrier factory authorized dealers, but service all makes and models. We specialize in residential and light commercial HVAC systems. So as we get ready to enter another hot Alabama summer, please remember Alexander's Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs.
Tom Bigby Electric Cooperative was formed for the need for electricity to the local citizens that were living in the rural areas of Marion, Lamar, and portions of Fayette counties. This line consisted of 12 miles and 22 consumers on the road from Guin to Sulligent. Between then and now, there has been a lot of hard work and dedication from a great number of people to make this cooperative what it is today. Tom Bigby Electric Corporation would like to thank each member. You can contact us today at 205-921-6712.
Let's pray. Father, again, Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Again, Lord, we thank you for all the many blessings you continue to bless us with. Lord, we continue to pray for the ones that's had surgeries and the one may be facing surgeries, the one that's off slow as of recent days. I pray that you be your will and touch them in need. Lord, I pray that you be with us here tonight. We just ask God direction in all we do. Christ's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the March 7th Winfield City Council meeting. First item on the agenda is approve the council minutes from the February 21st, 2023 meeting. I need to ask for a motion to approve those minutes as the way they're written, if nobody's got a comment or question about it. Keith made a motion, Gina second, all in favor? You in favor, James? You still read? Next item on the agenda is open loan bids for fire pumper truck purchase.
So Alan is supposed to pick it up. Alan's supposed to pick it up on the 13th, which is Monday. This is 9 months at this amount that we've saved. So they quoted the total amount, then they quoted less this amount, because I didn't know which way you was gonna go. And then this is the bids.
The only reason we want to do the full amounts is to pay the general fund back, or does that money come out of the general fund? That we've already paid, is that what you're saying? But that's gonna be the loan amount that we've been paying anyway. That's gonna be what, well, let me go ahead. Is this the bids? The initial line for the loan for $660,515. We've been paying $6,674.10 for the last 9 months, which equals a total of $60,066.90. Quoted both ways. I think. Yeah. The first bid comes in from the Citizens Bank of Winfield. Interest rate at 7.5%. No bank fees. Monthly payments at $71.31. For annual payments of $62,141. That's for the $600,448 amount. Same bank. Citizens Bank for the $660,515 and a 10-year fixed rate, 7.5%, zero bank fees, monthly payments of $78.45, annual payments of $68,358. Next bid is from State Bank and Trust. We're on soapbox, aren't we? We're on Facebook. State Bank and Trust. On the $600,448.10, 10-year fixed rate, interest rate at 4.9%. Bank fees, zero. Monthly payments at $6,376.33. That's 120 payments. And then the annual payments is 10 payments at $77,848.96.
How much is that on?
That's on the 600,448. Ten-year fixed rate, $660,515. Interest rate 4.9%, 4.95% with no bank fees. Monthly payments is 120 payments is $77,014.20. $7,014.20. 10 payments for the annual payment would be $85,636.72. Next bid is from First State Bank South. On the $600,448.10. 10-year fixed rate, interest rate 7.99%. Monthly payments is $72.96.38. On the $660,515, same rate, 7.99%, 10-year fixed rate. Monthly payments $8,026.29. My recommendation to the council, we go with State Bank and Trust at the 4.95% interest.
I'll make a motion. I said.
10, sir,
Third, fourth, fifth.
all in favor? Let me ask you this, it's my recommendation that we just do the $600,448, finance the
I
$600,000.
agree, that's what we set that money aside for, because we were actually going to get, well, you save money. Paying 2% more than we would if we'd done it.
Can I make a comment also?
Ma'am.
Mayor? I calculated for you if you, because you asked for a bid two ways, either on monthly payments or annual payments. And if you do the $600,448 and you do it monthly instead of annually, it's going to save you $13,330 in interest over the 10-year term.
We do it monthly then, as well.
Make a motion to do it monthly.
Second. I set it up monthly. That's the way we initially paid them first 9 anyway. Let's see. He's gonna take possession of that truck 13th, next Monday.
We're going to do a final inspection. It's left on Florida. It's in Fairhope. We'll do a final inspection, and I figure it'll probably come in within another week or so after that.
I'm gonna park it right here at City Hall for there too. We'll see what.
We put the monthly payments into the CD that's drawing the highest amount. Are we taking those out of the CD to go with the loan amount? Or are we just taking that amount that's been put into the CD out of general and leave the CD as it is?
You said you've been taking that monthly payment out of the CD?
No, sir, putting it into a CD. The 667410 has been put monthly into the CD.
I think, you know,
But you
when
have.
we started out back then, was
Yeah,
we
you
were
need-
going to put it in that CD, and at the time, we were going to pull it out and pay it.
Right.
And not do it as much. That way, we don't pull it out of the general fund. We still got the money in the general fund.
Right, but at this point, general's doing really well. You just pull it out of general or pull it out of the CD where it's already at and
But
already
you,
higher
you,
rate.
but you don't, but you added that money to a CD that already existed.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
what he's saying, you know, he added that.
I understand.
I think we need to just move forward, taking it from here forward, moving it out, and take it out of the general fund, don't take it out of the CD. You got that at the highest interest rate drawing CD that's on.
Yes, sir. And he's got it set up that way.
Everybody all right with it?
Yeah.
Next item on the agenda is old business. We'll start with you, James.
The grant on taking the houses down, where's that going?
Bring them up to speed there a little bit on Angie. They've been umpteen emails about this. We're having to, let me tell you what I know. She's been responding. I read and watch for response, and she's been responding back and forth with them. We can go ahead and move forward right now without adding this sewer building. But if we're going to try to continue that, we got to have one more historical evaluation done on it, and this next one will not be included in the money that we're receiving. The city will be responsible for it 100% of what it costs for them to come back out to do it. There was no way that they knew that they were end up requiring 2 studies done. So if we keep that in the bid package,
Just keep it in there so we don't have to pay for it next year.
it's going to cost in the neighborhood between $5,000 to $8,000. Is that what the estimate was?
I believe so.
It's going to cost us $5,000 to $8,000 to have another historical evaluation done on that building. It's not so much. I don't think it's so much as it is the building as it is. It's in between 2 buildings that is historically funded.
It's in what they call a historic district.
Yeah, historic district.
Since our temporary lights were blown down this past week, when our permanent lights gonna be put up?
So, let me finish while we're on this next. Let me get through the sewer building. So we're gonna go ahead and pay that other money out of general fund to have that other study done to try to get that building included in.
We have to pay the second one.
Sir?
Let's go ahead and do it. I make a motion to go ahead and do it.
I just need the majority of the council. I don't think I have to take action on it, Todd. I just need to know that the majority of the council is in agreement to do that.
I think that has to be put back out, since it's not part of the original surveys that were done. We have to put it back out for companies to give us an official quote. We won't automatically be able to go with the company that did the surveys to begin with, from what Heath has said.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think it'll be a hard decision for who's.
It's just adds time to it.
Right, we got a deadline on that time to have that done. Before we let any kind of time be an issue, I'll bring it before the council to move forward without adding it, if we have to. That grant.
Why do we have to do it again? Why do you have to have 2?
Dave, you get that email to see what
I don't think I printed that one.
the amount of that grant was how much? 385,000.
Yeah,
roughly.
around 385 total.
About 385,000. We might even we hadn't put it out, none of it out for bid yet. You got bid estimates when the engineer, whoever brought it up, you got bid estimates. But from my experience in the past dealing with this, that bid, it could come in taking a third or more than a third of that bid amount, of that grant amount to do that one building. So you may want to, you might have to weigh it out. What's more important is 3 abandoned houses or 1 building downtown. I think it's 16 or 18 total.
18 total, 17 has been approved.
And we're waiting on that to be the 18th one.
Yes, sir.
But I think this far in the game, I think we need to go ahead, like James said, go ahead and pay to have them to do another study on it, and then put it for bid and see how we do for the bids.
I was just curious as to why you had to do it again, but is that just standard?
Heath explained it that, you didn't find the email, he's just gonna let him read it.
I'll forward you the email, I'll find it and send it to you.
It's 2 or 3 emails back and forth there about why they require it. All right. James is asking about our traffic light situation. What was the last email we got on that?
He called this morning and I gave him Rob's number. He's supposed to be getting with him about some questions about the signals. He said he had everything in line.
It's fisting to happen. It's just putting it.
Tell them we had put their temporary lights back up.
I did not tell him that now.
Actually, twice.
Might be a godsend for it to wait till after all the storms over. We might get a full year out of it. Another storm come through and take it back out right after we get it put back up wouldn't be good. If it does, I'd make a recommendation. We go ahead and order parts right when it happens that night. Get on the phone next morning. But they're steady in touch with us about it. You got anything else? Tim? Gina? Keith? The antique mall down here, I don't know if y'all have been noticing what I've been trying to do to get that water problem stopped. You know, Mike he's getting frustrated, which I don't blame him for getting frustrated, but I mean it's very evident that we're making we're making efforts to try to stop the water going in there and trying to find the source of the water. In the scheme of things, we thought it was because there was nothing against it down at the bottom where the water runs off that hill, and we went in there and built a flume against the building so high up on the building to catch all that water and where it stay in the flume and not be against the building. Still had a water problem, so then we come back and we realized that when they paved the parking lot between the pizza bar and that building, that it's like a highway. It run off against the building, and there was places up through there where it kind of was standing. So then we put a curb from one end of the building to the other end of the building to not let water get against the building. Well, he sent me a text, a frustrated text last night or yesterday afternoon, frustrated because he's using my wetback, one of my wetbacks. He's saying he's getting 100 to 200 gallon of water a day out of it. It's increasing. So, and it's not raining every day like it has been. So we've got that creek that runs through the building. He informed me today that there is a room, about a 40-foot room in underneath there that water goes through or something, and he said it could be stopped up. So I don't know what that consists of. I didn't know we had a basement below the basement, or is it some kind of, he was explaining to me that some kind of, where the water goes through there, it could be stopped up, not letting the water out. And I had advised him that I had AFS coming. I thought they'd be here this week, but they affirmed today that they'd be here Monday at 1 o'clock to do an evaluation that tries to figure where that water's coming from. He initially asked if we put a sump pump in there, and I told him that putting a sump pump's not going to be a problem, but I'm concerned about where the water's coming from. I'm not just worried about getting the water out of there. I want to know where the water's coming from. So it's not coming from the ground. It's coming through the ground or from that creek. One of the two. Because we've got it to where when it rains, it's not rainwater. So we're up against, he's weathered a year there waiting for the insurance to get the brick back on the building, get the front back on the building, and the roof back in the shape now. We've got a tremendous water problem coming in the basement. So I'm just bringing you up to speed where we are with what we're dealing with the water at the Antique Mall. But, well, I'm on it trying to figure it out. I don't really want to volunteer to go underneath there and see if that's stopped up.
I'm not going in that tunnel. If we find somebody, we'll.
Cricket does a lot of things, but I don't know if I can get into that or not.
Be a good time before it gets real warm, because I know how snakes are down there.
You know, state, I'm sure, has water that dumps into that same tunnel that goes under that building off of 118 here.
Must be some problem.
Huh?
Maybe the state's problem.
Not unless the road's sinking.
I believe it is.
They may have to get a Allen's dive team or something to go through there.
I can show you where they put a cover in under the highway out here and it's created a sinkhole about the size of the room. That don't do nothing about it either.
Yeah, West explained that to me. You know, there's another, we had an issue up here on 253, Miss Dodd, right past where I'm blank. First one Tabitha May bought there.
Attaway.
Yeah, Miss Attaway, Nell Attaway's place, the next house over. Between that house and the next house, they had a sinkhole come up. They said there's a pipe there, so I went up there and looked. There's a pipe. It's a 4-foot pipe. It's 4-foot diameter pipe, and it's a big, humongous cupboard that goes back to the highway. But West says when they built these roads, there were no, it was just like when you when you let water out somewhere, it goes through the woods. There was no. It hadn't been. Well, it hadn't been. I'm drawing blank for words. It hadn't been. There hadn't been nothing built. It was just wooded. So they turned the water loose in the wood. You know, now that we've built around it and over it and different things, and that's why it's not really so much the state's problems, because it was water that was turned loose before there was ever any structures built or whatever. It was just wooded. So it ends up being on the landowner, you know. That's like, you know, which we all know, when you do work upstream, any kind of work, when you clear trees and leaves and the vegetation, you take vegetation away, you got a lot more water that's going to go south. It's going to go the same way it was going. If the way it was going can't hold it, that water is going to go somewhere. That may be kind of part of what some of the issue that we may be having down here. The water's going to find a way to go south, and a lot of times, if a ditch gets full, or if it's extra amount of water, which I'm dealing with the same thing on some of my property, it backs up. When it backs up, the water's still going to go somewhere, and it creates a pressure, and it blows out around the covers. And that's what's happening in a lot of these sinkholes and things you see, is that there's so much water flowing through there that it's creating a back pressure, and it's causing sinkhole. But when we're like the state, once it gets off the right of way, there's not a whole lot that we can do. Back on old business, as the council, we're still studying on what streets we'd like to pave this spring, or when the weather breaks.
I had a message this morning, somebody'd like us to look at Lake Drive.
Yeah, Lake Drive, you know, we done some culvert work. We robbed them, I think, put a new culvert in down on Lake Drive. And I figure all it has had is crushed run put over it. I figure I haven't been down there since they done that.
Yeah, it's awful.
There's four residents, I think, down there on Lake Drive. So I would like, you know, to consider Lake Drive in the project, this next paving project, as well as the east side of Kirkwood and that whole community down there, Echo and all those, I think there's 3, maybe 4 streets, 4 small streets they're not passable hardly with 2 cars, but they're used quite a bit, and I'd like to consider those when we do, which the church has about got their project done for us, and all the heavy equipment by the time this bid's let for the paving, I think there won't be no more heavy equipment on Kirkwood. So I'd like to, maybe if we get a list and let me get some prices, get me some prices about what it costs to do them like we did last time, then we'd go down the list and see what we feel like we can afford to do at the time.
So how will we do this by the next council?
Yeah, we'll try to do it by then. I spoke with Luke, still, there's 1 or 2 things they still like on Midway. Has any of them been on this side of Highland by B&B this week?
Yeah. I had started off.
Have you started it so?
They did. They started this morning.
Okay. All right. I want to make sure that we got that put out there. That I thought they were actually going to try to do it last Monday or Tuesday, and Rob asked them to start it this week. So I figured they could do it in one day. I don't know if they've asked y'all to block traffic or barricades.
They just completely shut it down.
Huh?
They just completely shut it down from that section.
Okay. All right, so that water, when all that work was going on out there at the B&B, we had a pipe issue to start with because of it being an aged and deteriorated pipe. But when they done that construction, when they was doing that construction, the water problem they had under the concrete up there, it stopped up the drain, and it was going down on Mr. Beasley's property and about flooding them out down there. So we went ahead and I got with Luke, which we will be reimbursed. I think we got FEMA money when we had the storm that came through, and we got FEMA money to fix that. So I went ahead and told them to move forward with fixing it. So they're on that project. It shouldn't take them, but if the weather permits, it shouldn't take them, but maybe a day, full day or day and a half to put that pipe and that box in. What else we got? Y'all are familiar with our camera systems that we've got in different places. Brett has put out asked for a permit for us to add 2 more cameras. Are y'all familiar with what this flop is called? A flop camera. Y'all familiar with the flop camera? The one that reads tag number. I would like for the council to approve me to allow him to go ahead when he's going to make sure he gets permitted. And if he gets permitted for the locations he's going to put him, I'd like the council to approve him to buy 2 more cameras. All in favor? Let's see if I've got any other minute. Have y'all been by any? I know Gina probably has. I don't know about James, but have y'all had a chance to go by to see the progress that's going on at the Armory? James, have you seen it since they put the 2 new windows in?
I haven't seen 2 new windows. I've been in since I did the work inside.
I was over there today, and I told Brett, I think we're talking about making that building look a little bit better. Try to make it look not so much like an armory. those two windows they put in, it changed the looks, it changed the look by those two windows, and I'd like to see us put windows in each one of those office spaces along that front wall, cut those out and put those same windows down through there on the front of that solid wall.
If we get a chance, I'll send you a picture tomorrow of what it looks like.
Did I ask you earlier what it cost to put those two windows, or what those windows cost?
The windows are not, the replacement windows are $400.
The labor's, how much do it?
The labor's $5,000
On two windows?
to cut the hole. Now, I may could get a discounted rate, but what the problem is that cement has got metal in it. And
It's long.
it's pretty aggravating to cut. I went over there and watched them. They go through about 3 foot of blade.
How thick is that, how thick is that wall? With the brick and the block, how thick is that?
About 8 inches.
Is that concrete block filled with concrete? The concrete block's poured with concrete? And steel? How many windows would it be? 8 more windows? How about we get we'll see about getting 3 bids for getting the windows cut out. You said the windows $400 a piece?
Yes, sir.
Is council okay with me getting some prices on what it costs to get those 8 holes cut?
Okay.
$2,500.
Okay.
So you're talking
Well, I mean, that's still a lot, but that's a lot less than $5,000.
Yeah.
Do the math on that, I can do
Talking about-
that.
Let me get some prices and get another 8 done.
$24,000.
Do you want me to go ahead and have Mr. Barnes order the windows because they take a minute to get in? No.
Now, let me see what it's gonna cost and let the council know what it's, we know what the windows cost, we know what it'll take a little bit to get it. Because here's what I'm thinking is if the council, if we get a price on, and the council agrees to a price that's not that bad, if the council agrees to go forward with it, we won't cut the holes to the windows. Because I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to now because of carpet.
I don't want to jeopardize us moving forward with what we're trying to do. I just think.
I'd have to do some work in there now to protect that carpet.
It's going to be wet cut.
But you need to look at it. I don't know if y'all noticed, I don't forget what the date was, it's been about the last week in February, I guess it was, 3340 come by to do a follow-up on, we mentioned doing more storm shelters because of the trouble, because we feel like we need them, and which we do need them, because we can't hold but 100, 150 people up here. And, we talked about doing 2 or 3 more storm shelters, and they was asking me what the progress was on that, and I'm still trying to get some assistance on the money part of it. But I had talked to, one thing is where we would put it. Where would we put another storm shelter? I had mentioned it to Brett over there at that property. It might be feasible to put one on that property outside away from the main building. We'd have a lot better parking than we got here. If we could build one to hold 100, 150, 200 people, I think it would be very beneficial there. That would get us closer, to that side of town anyway. And I'd also had thought what we were going to do, what can be done if we do take this sewer building out, what are we going to gain for space? If that might be another option, but maybe I don't know what else we could do there. We need parking, of course. I don't know how many cars you can park there when we take that building out. Where Alabama Power's got all the poles and stuff in front of it, and got it, the pole braced off, and got pipes and stuff around it. But I just need the council to be thinking maybe where we could actually put one or two more storm shelters if we do get the money to do it.
Put another one over there, because you got parking for this, make a parking over there.
And that's what I'm saying, but we need to, I don't know if we can use that for parking no bigger than it is either. But, you know, we got the property.
15 spaces would be greatly used.
We might want two spaces be greatly used, but we might want to consider what we need to do. We might want to get in, looking into what we might can do with this property that's behind the city shop that we've got back here between it and the Tahoe Road. We might want to look and see what can be done as far as either parking or developing that some way.
Well, and we were worried about the water running on Antake Mall. And when you clear that out there and dump all that water, it's going under the mall then, so you're gonna create a bigger problem down there, so you may not think twice about that.
Well, Mayor, if we put it over there where I sent you those pictures the other day over there to the far side, if we could get the funding for it, I think it'd be big enough to build bigger than what we've got up here, don't you think? I mean, especially lengthwise.
And I don't, I tried to call them back, but to my Facebook and different things, but a lot of people that's on Facebook's not gonna be surprised, but me not being a Facebooker, it surprises me how many people from Word pick up on what we're talking about and what we're doing. It's just kind of like you're driving down the road, you talk about something, then you get a text or email comes in trying to offer to sell it to you. Well, people's listening to what we're talking about here now, and there's companies that's in that line of work. I actually got a call from a company that puts in storm shelters. I didn't get a chance to call them back. I was in a meeting or something when a lot of times I don't answer some of those phone numbers because there's so many prank numbers out there. But they had seen, read in the paper, or had seen it from one of the meetings that we were talking about doing storm shelters, and had reached out to let us, you know, that could be.
I need an advocate or something.
You know anything else, Angie, I need to go?
The only other thing I had was we gotta make a decision if we want this bidded out by the consultants, or are we gonna pick somebody? Because they agreed that this is going to be totally replaced.
Okay.
We got the vendors here, I got a couple of petitions I got.
That's gonna take care of the air conditioning problem too. I had a guy go over there. I don't know if you know, I don't know if y'all familiar with not, but we've still been having a little bit of a roof issue with the Pastime Theater. Since the storm when it was, Mary's had water that's caused damage. And we've been back and forth with the insurance company and the roofing company. Had two different AC men up there, and they finally come to a conclusion to put a new roof on that building. So I need to ask the council if we're going to let the consultant group handle the bids and handle getting that roofing done, or do we want to put it out for bid and get the roof done?
We do it,
It's gonna be a complete roof over the whole building.
That's what I understand.
You got a flat roof on
it's got that membrane.
Hey. I think the price is gonna be the same regardless who does. I mean, was they consultant does it?
That's from Amic.
We do. And the same company's gonna do it.
Where's it in?
Not we're gonna do it, so
I left James's name off here, I'll have to go print it. He didn't, his fell off when I had to add the waterworks.
half dozen 160, I think.
Sir?
Half dozen 160, what do we do if they do? As long as they can still, they're gonna pay for it.
Let the consultant contact you.
They ask them,
Hmm.
you may not let ask them if we can do it without going through the consultant. Or they know more and find out.
Well, no, they're giving us the option. We'll reach out, back out to, I mean, the consultant works for Amic anyway. And the last line on this is, if the city needs assistance with the bid process of this location, they can assist with it. That's the last line on the reply back from Amic, which is the insurance company. Let me just read this to you. We received David Lee with roof asset management report opinion on the pastime theater's roof. He believes the existing roof structure has experienced excessive wind-related event which has affected its ability to perform as originally designed and installed. He noted these wind-related damage appear to have caused severe moisture intrusion and uplift conditions to occur. Due to the damage observed throughout the existing roof system, it's our opinion repairs will not provide adequate protection securement. Therefore, the complete replacement of the roof will be required.
Find out if they can get somebody in here in 30 days, if not, we need to bid it, because it will take us 30 days to bid it out. So we'll be 60 days out, and if they can get it done in 30 days, we'll have it done in 30. Give them an option.
You're insurance, man. Take your advice. Rock, right and roll with it. I don't have any other business. Nobody else has got any.
Mayor, we need to amend the agenda. I've got a couple of petitions for annexation. We need to act on to that.
Good deal. I need to ask for a motion and a second to amend the agenda for city property in the city and next property in the city. Got a first motion by Tim, a second by James. All in favor? The reason for amending this agenda is to got somebody that's wanting to annex their property in the city limits. Todd's got it.
The first ordinance is by Gerald Boucher, or the first petition, I'm sorry, is by Gerald Boucher. And Gerald has given he's given the city just a small strip down his driveway. Y'all know up here on 14 where Gerald lives, down his driveway, giving us a strip of land to go down his driveway and touch Tommy Bowen. Okay, and once we get, that's the first petition. Once we get down to Tommy Bowen's property, then we're taking in all of the property that is where Mr. Bowen's house is. Not all of his acreage, but just his house. So, Mr. Boucher's property is contiguous because the city limits is across 14. 14 is the only thing that separates the city limits from his property. And once we take Mr. Boucher's property in, his strip in, then that will make Tommy's contiguous. And Tommy's been trying to get his in for a while, but that gives us that connection to him so that we can make him contiguous. So the first petition is, yeah, I don't have that one yet. Is it? Have they done a petition yet? They're waiting on me to do it. Okay. The first petition is Gerald Boucher. And as when we do these by agreement or by the request of property owners, we must do an ordinance that adopts that property, accepts that property in. And to do an ordinance, we must suspend the rules, give immediate consideration to it. So we need a motion and a second to suspend the rules and give immediate consideration to that, and then we adopt that ordinance that accepts that into the city limits.
Y'all understand what he's asking?
Motion, second.
You got us, Johnny made a motion to go ahead and amend to allow this petition for annexation of a 50-foot width going through Gerald Boucher's property to Tom Bowen. All in favor? Y'all need to stick them out.
Yeah, I need a motion to suspend the rules to give immediate consideration to the adoption of that ordinance.
And this was to put Mr. Bowen's property in once it gets, strip of land gets to him, connected. He's made a motion to accept that, suspend the rules for that. Need a second. All in favor?
Okay, so we've suspended the rules to adopt it. Now we need a motion and a second for that ordinance number next, which is the ordinance.
Need to do it for each one.
Need to do it. We need to do it for Mr. Mr. Boucher's property first, because that's what makes Mr. Bowen contiguous. It's not contiguous until that's annexed.
James made a motion. Gina second. All in favor?
Okay, and that's that ordinance. Then the next petition is George Thomas Bowen and Rhonda Wicks Bowen. And again, it's a section of property that joins Mr. Boucher's property. Here's the map of it. It joins that property we just annexed, that strip we just annexed. It joins all of that. And then it is the property that encompasses his house. It takes his house in to the city limits. So his residence will now be city limits property after we do that. And that's the petition signed by Tommy and Rhonda Bowen.
Motion. Second by Keith. All in favor?
Okay, need a motion to suspend the rules to give immediate consideration to that ordinance.
I thought that's what we just did.
It is.
I thought we just act on the petition. I didn't know that we actually suspended the rules yet.
Yeah, you already done that.
I didn't know what we'd done. I'm sorry.
You know, both on twice, make sure.
Then there's that ordinance.
Same motion, same person made the motion second. You got anything else to tell them?
That's all I got.
Need to ask for a motion to pay the bills. If anybody don't have no questions or comments about the bill, to Keith made a motion. Gene second. All in favor? I need to ask to go into executive session to discuss a potential business venture beginning with council. I need to amend the agenda to go into executive session. We won't take any other action on anything when we come back out. Tim made a motion. Gina second. All in favor?
State Bank and Trust has been invested in Winfield and Marion County for more than a century. And today, we remain deeply committed to meeting the needs of local families and businesses with excellent financial products and friendly down-home service.
But more than that, we're dedicated to supporting the growth, success, and well-being of our community as a whole. Because when it comes right down to it, there's nothing more important than community.
And just like our outstanding city officials, police, and fire departments, you can count on State Bank and Trust to help make Winfield and Marion County a great place to live for everyone who calls this area home.
Now open in Guin, Alabama, Pig Out invites you to come by and try their delicious barbecue. Country-style vegetables, homemade desserts, burgers, and many more items. We serve a lunch buffet on Sundays. Sunday, 11 to 2 p.m. Our hours are Thursday, 11 to 6 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 to 8 p.m. Call us today at 205-468-0574. Pig Out is located in Guin, Alabama in the old Jimbo's Barbecue building.
Hello everyone, this is Chuck from Span Hardware in Winfield, Alabama. Good to be with you today, and I just want to let you know we've got some new things this year for the spring season. As you can see, Stihl now has the lawnmower. We're going to have a full line of the Stihl zero-turn mowers. We have a full line of the Stihl weed trimmer and chainsaws. Just about anything you need to maintain your home this spring and summer. From lawn and garden equipment to paint to hardware, anything you need. Come see us. We'll help you if we can. Thank you.
This is Eric Simmons from Furniture Depot. We have a store in Guin and Fayette. We've been serving the people of Northwest Alabama for 23 some odd years. We'd like to be your furniture store if you'd let us. And we'd like to thank you for your business this past year and invite you to come and shop with us this coming year and for the years to come. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
Hello, Lee Hines here, owner-operator of Alexander's Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been family owned and operated since 1954, proudly serving Marion, Fayette, and Lamar County. We are Carrier factory authorized dealers, but service all makes and models. We specialize in residential and light commercial HVAC systems. So as we get ready to enter another hot Alabama summer, please remember Alexander's Heating and Air for all your HVAC needs.
Tom Bigby Electric Cooperative was formed for the need for electricity to the local citizens that were living in the rural areas of Marion, Lamar, and portions of Fayette counties. This line consisted of 12 miles and 22 consumers on the road from Guin to Sulligent. Between then and now, there has been a lot of hard work and dedication from a great number of people to make this cooperative what it is today. Tom Bigby Electric Corporation would like to thank each member. You can contact us today at 205-921-6712.